another one that is yet to... We're supposed to watch. Evidently, 3 weeks ago, we were told 4 teams are going to Vegas. Then, over the weekend, we heard, yep, these teams are going to Vegas. Then it's come, they're in talks to go to Vegas. It's not confirmed yet. But the Warriors, the Raiders, the Panthers, and the Sharks are the 4 teams, supposedly, for the purpose of this, off to Vegas next year.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the sides? As a Sharks fan, does it interest you or do you not care? And do you think the NRL got it right?
Let me say this. The first 4 teams that came out didn't have the Raiders in it. It had the Sharks, the Warriors, the Panthers, and it had the Storm. And I put a tweet out that actually got retweeted by a major publication and someone who worked at the NRL, and it gained a little bit of traction. And it said, I tweeted that it's a very risky move from the NRL confirming the Panthers, Storm, and Sharks this early to go to Las Vegas when they're the top 3 teams. Whoever are the premiers, and I dare say it's going to come from the top 5 teams this year, whoever the premiers are, someone's going to have to play a World Cup challenge. Now, if Penrith win it, they've already shown, they've played at Penrith, they've played in England, it's probably due back in Penrith. But if another team wins the NRL competition this year, say for example, Melbourne Storm win the comp this year, the Super League will turn around and kick up their heels and go, mate, we won the last 2. We ain't travelling. You're coming to us. So you'd be throwing the premiers into England in the middle of February and then over to Vegas in March. I think it's a very, very risky move to name the teams now. I think it would be a good idea for the NRL to quietly have conversations with 5 or 6 teams to gauge their interest, and then wait for the draw to drop in November until you know who your premiers are and if they're going to commit to playing in England and then Las Vegas. That's a lot of travel. That's a lot of miles on the legs for the players. It's a lot of time away from families as well. If the game was played in Australia, it's not so bad. Look, I've got to tell you, for 2 reasons, I didn't get worked up about Las Vegas this year. One, the teams that just went over there, they didn't interest me in the slightest. And for the second reason, I was on holidays when it kicked off, so I didn't watch a second of it. But I've heard it was amazing. I know a few people who have gone over there and said, look, it was absolutely great. Las Vegas is great. The Americans really got behind it, and that's awesome. I'll probably perks my interest a little bit for the Sharks going there. I won't be able to go to it because I'm getting married 19 days after the supposed date, so you won't be going either. Yeah, if this was 26 or 27, maybe I'd be a little bit more, but I'm open for the NRL trying everything, and I'd rather this than, a Papua New Guinea team. So, look, I'm stoked, but I don't know if you can just make that commitment at the moment, knowing that half these teams could potentially win the premiership and may have to go to England.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought of it that way. Last year was a big success. I know the crowd numbers are, was it 30 or was it 40,000? Who cares? That's great. And the promotion was great. And it actually made a believer out of me because I didn't think it'd work. If it's 10 years ago and the Sharks are playing in Vegas, I'm going. I'm just too old now. It's too much investment. I've got kids, passports, blah, 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 blah. 10 years ago, though, I would have been the first person to book tickets. I would have booked them already on the maybe. And if not, well, I'm going to Vegas. Who cares? So I don't particularly care. You play a week earlier and you lose a trial game, whatever. It means very little to me. It's just round 1. I get the excitement. I get why teams want to go because it's like such a big commercial opportunity, as we saw by the 4. Now, I'm going to say something a little bit controversial here, but whatever. The 4 teams that they sent were 3 of the 4 biggest teams in the NRL plus Manly, right? The Warriors got a huge fan base in New Zealand. No one cares about the Sharks. The Panthers are multiple-time winners. They're probably the team that should go. And no one cares about the Raiders. It feels like every team's going to get their go to go to Vegas. They're going to cycle them. Someone's going to miss out as a 17th team and go on the 5th year, which is going to annoy. But whatever. They can do something with Magic Round or something. I don't know. But if they were to come out tomorrow and say, actually, the Sharks aren't going, I don't care in the slightest.
I think it was good to send as you said, 3 of the 4 biggest teams over, and I think now you've got to split it and turn around and go, well, have a look at the teams that don't quite have the fan bases but draw good crowds on the television as opposed to those with good fan bases, because if Penrith are the 4-time champions going over there, they're going to have a huge backing over there. The Raiders will have a pretty, will their fans go, the Wars, the Sharks? Yeah, look, not a bad crop of players. I will say this though, like my thoughts on Cronulla going are here nor there. Like if they turn around and said we're only sending 16 teams and you guys aren't going ever because you only get 12,000 people to your home ground, so be it. Like advantage to Cronulla in round 1 and round 2 probably. But the biggest thing for me, and just I would actually feel sorry for Penrith if they had to go to England and then go to Las Vegas.
Well, maybe Cronulla can have a word about that. But look, I agree. I think it'll be fun, whoever goes. But for me, I'm too old.